City of Minneapolis, just posting on X that we are aware of reports of another shooting involving federal law enforcement in the area of 26th Street West and Nicollet Avenue. We are working to confirm additional details, they say. We ask the public to remain calm and avoid the immediate area. Now, this happened just after 9 o'clock, so about an hour ago. Where did it happen? Near the intersection of 26th Avenue and Nicollet in the Whittier neighborhood. As we told you about a half hour ago, our Joe McCoy is there now. We have a live shot set up. And Joe, what can you tell me about the scene and what we can confirm so far?
Smoke on first.
Well, Chris, it's a very chaotic scene out here, as you can imagine. I'm going to tell you what just happened. You see that smoke off in the distance? We just felt an explosion, quite frankly, happen. And a bunch of federal agents just walked down there. We cannot see what happened down there, but there's a decent amount of smoke about a block down. I don't, quite frankly, know what that was, but it was pretty startling here. What we have behind me in the lime green vest, these are State Patrol officers, and then behind them are federal agents. We have Border Patrol agents as well as ICE agents. And then if we flip the camera here, this is now where the line of protesters is. And we're gonna walk down here. You can see this makeshift barrier that protesters have made. They have put a car to block the road, and then they brought in all of these dumpsters from the alley to block the road so that ICE or anyone is not able to leave the scene. So I would say there's about 100 or so protesters here on this side. There are still more protesters coming, and then there's also more protesters on the other street. I want to bring in our anchor, Jana Shortle. Jana has been on the scene with me since the beginning when we heard reports of the shooting, and then Jana was hit right in the face with chemical irritant. Jana, tell people what happened to you.
Yeah, I was right here on Nicollet and 26th, behind the police line. There were maybe 5 or 6 people. They were interacting with the Border Patrol agents, chanting a lot of the chants you hear now. And I want to stress that I was behind the line and I was press credentialed. They started to push and move the line, and I started to back up, and this one officer just pushed me really hard, and I said, "Do not push me, I'm press." And then he did it again, and I fell backwards, and I said, "I'm press," and then I felt this burn in my eye. I didn't see what it was, but I can't find my glasses. Yeah, and then a bunch of people started to pick me up, and they took me to the sidewalk and started flushing it out. It took about 30 minutes. These people opened their apartment complex to help. Medics came. I mean, there's a lot of people out here that are trying to help. I know some folks hear these chants and they say everybody's bad at these protests, but it's not true. They helped me, and they gave me towels and a new shirt, and then I came back out to these explosions. You were just referring to that one that we could feel with our feet. Just behind this, this is known as Eat Street. We're in the heart of Eat Street right now on Nicollet. This is a beloved place in the Twin Cities. It's home of many, 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 many immigrant restaurants. A lot of people, when they first get their start here in Minnesota, live down here. I lived at 25th and Nicollet above the coffee shop when I first came to CARE 24 years ago. So it's just a special part of the city. The explosion happened just behind Eat Street, which is, it's either Stevens or First. I sometimes get them confused. But there's kind of protesters on each side. It's like a giant city box right now, and it's just getting completely out of hand. But you know what I think about, Joe or Chris? Brian O'Hara, our police chief, said the other day, you know, I worry for this explosive event to happen. I pray we're not there. But we've heard the explosions. And it's 11 below zero, and there's so many people out here, and tensions are higher than I've seen throughout this.
Jenna and I have both been at the 3 ICE-involved shootings that have happened in Minneapolis in the past 2.5 weeks. Renee Good, the one following that, and now the one today. I want your opinion on this, Jenna, but to me, the atmosphere feels a little bit different today than the other 2.
Absolutely. I mean, look. I mean, there are city dumpsters all pulled from Whittier by community when it's 11 below zero to just make this kind of a face-off event. And to be honest, maybe you know, I had to go upstairs to get my eyes flushed. I don't even know what happened here yet to precipitate what folks are even protesting. But this part of the city particularly, and when we think about the shooting of Renee Good, that's at over at 34th in Portland, 35th in Portland, and this is 24th, 25th, 26th in Whittier, East Street. These are where you find, I would say, your most progressive voices in the city. I mean, this is where this is. This is Whittier, this is Uptown, this is Southside. And I think that folks just after yesterday, they saw that, you know, a lot of community was going to be out to protest, so this might be that explosive event. I pray it's not.
Yeah.
But I will say that before I got sprayed, the protesters were amped, and the patrol agents, not all of them, some were really kind.
Yeah.
Some were saying things like, we're all in this together. But there were also some that had their hands on the canisters, like the guy that was pushing me. I didn't do anything. I was behind the line, and he's shoving me and shoving me. I'm 5 foot nothing, 110 pounds.
Yeah. And you're clearly wearing your press
Clearly
badge.
wearing my press badge. I had my backpack, but it fell off.
Yeah, I mean,
I was behind the line.
yeah. Chris, we have seen already multiple clashes between federal agents and with protesters. When we were at the Renee Good shooting, there was immediately a perimeter that was set up with MPD, and things got a little bit out of hand once MPD took away those barricades and protesters started to flood the streets. But this was getting out of hand early in terms of protesters and federal agents pushing, shoving, federal agents deploying tons of chemical irritant to try to get these protesters back. Thankfully, there is a secure perimeter right now in terms of no one is trying to get past this caution tape. Again, those green vests there, those are federal agents, and then behind those are State Patrol officers, excuse me, and then behind the State Patrol officers, those are the federal agents. So, as Jenna was mentioning, we can just hope that this isn't this sort of explosive event where things really get out of hand.
Joe.
Thankfully, there is a perimeter set up right now. Go ahead,
All right,
Chris.
yeah, Joe, if you can hear me, first of all,
Yep.
thank you. Thank you for reporting. Thank you for being
moving.
there. And thank you to Jana for being there as
Yeah.
well. We want to remind viewers that it is unclear what people are protesting right now. We have not heard any verification of any fact into what has caused this protest this morning. We heard of a possible shooting, a report of a possible shooting, but we don't know what. Oh, we're cutting away from the video right there, and I was going to ask Joe if he had heard anything from people on the ground there. I'll be honest, this is a very...
We have not...
Can you hear me, Joe?
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay.
Yep, I got you, Chris.
Okay, what have you heard from anybody on the ground as to why people are so upset at this particular incident?
What people on the ground are saying, Chris, is that there is another ICE-involved shooting. That is why people have rushed to the scene here in the Whittier neighborhood. As you mentioned, we saw the statement from the city of Minneapolis saying that there was potentially reports or of a federal agent-involved shooting. But again, people are here because they got word and they believe that there is another ICE-involved shooting. We are currently moving because there's another one of these explosions, Chris. This is the second one that has now gone off. That's a third one. Not sure if that's possibly tear gas. We're going to stay back here because I think they're deploying tear gas, and that's really not fun to be in the middle of. So we're going to stay back here. But again, there's two scenes. The scenes that we were at about a block away, and then there's another crowd of protesters.
They just put one in the crowd right here, so watch out.
It's fairly chaotic, Chris. It's a little bit hard to see right now because
back,
we are
Joe.
pushed back here. But it's Border Patrol agents as well as the State Patrol in those lime green vests. But they are deploying these tear gas canisters into the crowd to try to get the crowd to back up so they can secure a perimeter.
Okay, well, do us a favor. Stay back to where it's
Yeah,
safe.
but that tear
Listen
gas
to
is
law
coming
enforcement.
into this
And if
courtyard.
you
This
can,
is
keep
Vertical
giving us a
Endeavors. It's
shot so
climate
we
gym.
can monitor what's happening right now, Joe. Just stay at a safe distance. You don't have to go up to the line. We want to see what's happening right now. Are law enforcement giving you any order to disperse? Are they saying this is unlawful? Are you hearing any of the commands?
No, Chris, we are not hearing any commands yet in order to disperse or anything of that nature. And at this time, no.
Is Jana okay? Because what she reported was being behind the line, pushed twice by an agent, and then pepper sprayed in the face, in which we saw her being treated for that earlier. Is she okay? Ask her, please.
Yeah, Jenna, Chris is asking if you're okay right now.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, my eyes just a little messed up, but I can see and I can blink through it. I think, you know, Chris, you and me have done this a long time. I was just standing behind the line. I know I keep repeating myself. It's just still kind of like jarring, and I know that things have been much worse for more people, but I want people to know that I was following the rules. I didn't even have a big camera. Maybe that's why that person did what they did. Like I said, I want to stress that there were some agents that were like listening to the heckling, and they were talking back to protesters in a respectful way. But there were just as many, there were a handful maybe, that had their fingers on these canisters, and then all of a sudden they started pushing, and nobody knew why. And then behind the tape, like push, move, 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 and I'm trying to back up. It's icy out here. I'm walking backwards again by myself. I have a press badge on, and I said, "I'm press. Why are you pushing me?" And he kept pushing, and then just squirted it right under my glasses in my left eye. But I'm okay. Hey! Oh, shit! Jesus!
Oh, these are tear gas canisters, Chris. We are running back to the scene.
Go back! Move it! Thank you!
All right. Yeah, Joe. You guys go get to a safe spot.
We're okay, Chris. We're
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, good.
We're okay. We're okay.
Throwing a free
Yeah,
fall.
they're just
You guys-
launching these things into the crowd, Chris.
All right. We are grateful.
You know,
that
we
you
were
are being a
we were a
witness, Joe.
safe distance back there,
Okay.
and they are launching these chemical irritant into the crowd. We're okay now, Chris. We're back. We're good.
All right. You guys take a break. Keep your IFB ready to rock because I'm going to come back to you shortly, Joe. Okay?
We're here.
Take a break.
Yep, got it, Chris.
Take a break. I'm going to come back to you in a second. All right?
I'll keep
Got it.
Just take a break. Get yourself in order. I want to go
We
to a
already
tweet
did.
right now
They helped me out.
of Governor Walz. I am told from producers that Governor Walz just posted on X. I have not read this yet, so I'm reading it cold on the air with you. Governor Walz says, "I just spoke with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. The president must end this operation, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota now." We have not seen, okay, so this is the governor, I suppose, verifying that there is a shooting, which we have not had verified before. The governor is also saying that he just spoke with the White House. We don't know how that conversation went.